I'm starting off some more microgreens today, and I'm going to do some red cabbage because we've already got some green leaf out there, and it's nice to make up a mixture of different coloured microgreens. And if you get quite a few different varieties going all at the same time, you're going to have a really nice mix of colour and lots of nutrition. So we're using the same trays we used before. One no holes in, and then this one that's got lots of holes in. The only difference between this one and the last one that we did is this time we're not going to put any compost in. We're just going to grow them on paper towels, because when you come to that harvest, it's a much cleaner way at harvesting your crops by cutting them off that paper towel. One other advantage to that is that when you do microgreens, a lot of people do them indoors on a sunny windowsill, and of course if you take compost indoors, you're going to get all those annoying little black flies flying around in your living room. Definitely don't want that. So basically, paper towel. If you haven't got a paper towel, use toilet roll. It does exactly the same thing. All we're going to do is line the bottom of a tray and then overseed it, and I'm going to use a mixture of red cabbage and green cabbage, because I've got a couple of packets of seeds there that are well out of date. So we might as well mix them up and try and get a nice big bunch of these microgreens growing. But first thing we need to do is line the bottom of this tray. So what we're doing is pretty simple. We're just basically lining the bottom of this tray with this tissue. Just want to make sure we get a decent thickness to it. Don't have to be perfect. Just creating a nice even layer across the bottom of this container. Something like that's fine. And then we need to completely soak it. If you're doing it on paper tissue like this, I wouldn't leave it in your greenhouse. I'd take it indoors because it's going to dry out way too quick. And just keep it in a warm room, but it doesn't need to be kept really hot. Don't forget, we're using seeds that are used to germinating in cooler temperatures. So that's really saturated now. I'm just going to press that down. And as I said, I've got a mixture of seeds. I've got red cabbage, and all I'm doing is broadcasting loads onto this tissue. We want to get a really good covering, and then we'll get denser growth when they do germinate. And then I'm adding some green cabbage so we can get a nice mixture of colour. You can see how many seeds I'm putting on here, but these seeds are out of date now, so I might as well use them for something. At least then at the beginning of the year we can buy all new seeds, and then we're not going to get those annoying waiting times where nothing actually germinates because the seeds are past the best. So lots and lots of seeds going on here. And you can do different varieties of things like cabbage and cauliflower, but don't do different varieties of vegetable because they'll grow at different speeds and it won't be as good. So we've got all those on there, and that's nice and wet. And then I'm just going to pop another tray on top of that Ideally, it wants to be sitting on top of those seeds, but if this don't fit loose, don't press it down. Just leave it as it is, and as those seedlings grow, they'll lift that tray up. But what we want to be doing is, if you've got a tray like I've got, that's got holes in it, that needs blacking out. We don't want any light getting to these seedlings once they've germinated, because then they'll stretch, which is what we want them to do. So I'm just going to pop that over the top, and I'll just wet that so it sticks where I put it. And that's all we need to do. I'm just popping that over the top of there to add a little bit of extra weight. So that's very quick and simple to do, and it's another set of microgreens on the way with a nice mixture of red and green cabbage. You're better off taking those in house, like I've already said. They'll germinate a bit quicker, and they don't want to be in your greenhouse because that tissue is going to dry out. What you need to be doing with that is taking it off every day and just checking that tissue is still moist. If it's not, just give it a light misting and then cover it back up again and leave it. And eventually when these seedlings grow, they should start and push that lid up. And that's how you get your microgreens straighter. They're pushing against a weight. So we'll see how they get on using no compost at all, just paper towels. And hopefully in about 14 days time, we'll be taking his next harvest of homegrown microgreens. So if you do fancy having a go at some microgreens through colder months, then now you know exactly what to do. And you can grow those microgreens in just a couple of inches of compost, or you can grow them on paper towels. So you've got two choices of how to do that. But better than that, there's over 80 different varieties of microgreens. So there's a massive choice of what you could pick. All you need to do is source somewhere where you can get your seeds as cheap as possible, because you're going to be overseeding trays, so you don't want to pay a lot of money for your seeds. So maybe look for bulk bag buys on eBay and things like that, or ideally do what I'm doing at the end of the year, collecting all the seeds that I've got that I know are now out of date and using all those seeds to grow microgreens, just to secure that I actually get something from every single seed that I've bought. What I'll do is I'll pop a list on now of quite a few different types of microgreens that you can grow, just to give you a general idea. But there is quite a few more than what's on this list, but this list includes the most popular ones. If you want to see how these get on as we go over the next couple of weeks, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you next time. Take care.